Mami va a traer ahora. Te lo dije, sabía. Mommy's making it right now. You like a bagel with cream cheese? I told you, you see? No. We both ate it all.
Mira, ese último mensaje que llamaba yo no lo entendí.
What's the deal, Si? Ah, pero mira, amor, pues eso está heavy.
Pero léelo bien porque
Okay.
los 4.000 yo no lo entiendo.
Espérate.
Yo no entendí lo de los 4.000.
More, my peoples, we're going to take a little boxing before we get to tonight. We're going to get some good action. By the way, Khalil Cole, yo, 8 pounds overweight. That's some goofball shit. And y'all seen that I've been supporting Khalil Cole. And I've been telling y'all he's going to give us a great fight. But showing up 8 pounds overweight, man, that's goofball shit. More, los 4,000 pesos son para materiales gastables, libros, cuadernos y demás. ¿Qué tú no entiendes por eso?
O sea, a los 7.000 hay que sumarle 4.000 pesos para encima.
Bueno, lo que yo entiendo es que eso es una sola vez.
Eso es lo que tú entiendes, porque ella dice.
Eso es lo que yo entiendo. Pero tú le puedes preguntar. Tú le preguntas si es los 7,000 más 4, que serían 11 mensual, o si esos 4,000, o pregúntale nada más cada cuánto tiempo de los 4,000. Got Ryan saying the catchphrase, my peoples. He practicing it. That right there is gonna be the next. That's gonna be the next face of Box Center, so you might as well get used to hearing him say it. And he learning how to box. Ain't gonna be no bullying, ain't gonna be no playing games. He put hands and he learning how to punch to the face, my people. Check this out. Raisin bagel with cream cheese. Classic banger. Huh? In Spanish?
Give me that.
Well, you gotta go sit down. Put the toy down.
I'm hungry.
I know you're hungry. Put the toy down. Hold on, my peoples. You know what it is, man. Family first, right? Put the toy down, right? Put it right here so you can eat. There you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome. My peoples, how does Khalil Cole show up 8 pounds overweight? Like 8 pounds overweight, it's like you wasn't even trying. It's like you just said, fuck it. I get it. Half a pound. 8 pounds? You wasn't trying to make no weight. I saw his opponent saying, I still want to fight. I want that smoke. So I don't know if they still going to fight. I think so. I think Khalil Cole's still going to fight tonight. But honestly, I don't know. Whether or not that fight happens, that was goofy shit. Like, you do not show up to a weigh-in 8 pounds overweight. That's crazy. That is crazy. He was eating bagels with cream cheese. That's a classic combination right there. Bagel with cream cheese, you can't go wrong. See, Ryan doing his thing. We still gonna get some good fights tonight. And I seen Raymond Murataya saying that 8 fights, or is it 6 fights, is not enough for Andy Cruz to be ready for him. I'm telling y'all, Raymond is feeling real comfortable and confident that he's gonna win this fight. Just business. They stopped and got something to eat before the win. I mean, that's crazy, bro. 8 pounds is that's wild disrespectful, my G. John Parent, salute. Ryan's over there eating a bagel with cream cheese. And loving it. Listen, whether or not Khalil Cole is going to fight tonight, I'm not sure. His opponent said, I still want to fight. Let's see if they make it happen. But, honestly, if a fighter shows up 8 pounds overweight, I think that fight needs to be called. They need to pull the plug on that one. Why? Yo, you basically a whole division above your opponent. In some cases, you might be 2 divisions. Because think about it, from 130 to 135 and then 135 to 140, 10 pounds could be a 2 division difference. 8 pounds over. So now what happens if Khalil Cole knock homie out brutally? That's the first thing we're going to talk about. God damn, you knocked him out, but you 8 pounds over the guy. Side, what weight was it meant to be at? Cruiser? Ah, shit, I don't got my phone with me, man. More, ¿dónde yo puse? Hold on, man, I don't got my other phone. I'm not sure, I don't want to guess. Y'all know I don't like to guess. El voltico, tú lo ves arriba.
Ah, que tú. Yo estoy
Ya lo
buscando
trae.
el teléfono y ahí tiene todo el nivel.
I have to get me this merch. I don't even know how to wear this shit. Had to get this merch, y'all. I don't have to struggle with the documents and shit. But just business. Let's shake it up. You know what to do. Name 2 fights you want to see now. And 1 old school fight you want to see. 2 fights I want to see now. I mean, right now, there's a fight that I want to see in Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, and we're going to get that. And I want to see Tank Davis come back and fight any of the top guys, man. Tank Davis, a great fighter. I hope that he can get out of that situation that he's in, and let's see what happens from there. Side. Either way, we're in discipline, or they looking for an advantage like Ryan Garcia. Honestly, man, 8 pounds... That doesn't even look like you trying to get an advantage. That looks like you don't want to fight. That looked like you just gave up on making weight and just decided, fuck it, let him pull the plug on this fight. We not fighting. Because that's just too much, bro. 8 pounds, that's too much, my people. I don't know what he thinking. And I'm disappointed in Khalil Cole. I've been vouching for the motherfucker for a couple of weeks. Like, yeah, Khalil Cole's gonna give us that smoke. Khalil Cole's gonna give us the fireworks. And then he do this goofball shit. This is real goofball shit. Keep it real. Keep it real, my peoples. Look at that shit. They supposed to fight at 175. My nigga weighed 182.8. bro. It was not trying to make weight. 7.8 pounds. You was not trying to make weight, bro. There's no way. Either he wasn't trying to make weight, or he just can't make weight. He trying to fight at a division that's too low for him. One of the two. Just business. How much was the catch weight? Now they were supposed to fight at 175. And based on the way his opponent was talking, it looked like his opponent made weight. Side, Fulton was overweight and got whooped. He was on discipline. But that's different. I'm not sure what the case is with Khalil Cole, but if you remember, Fulton looked out of shape. Before the fight, I said it. Yo, what the fuck? Used to seeing Fulton shredded up. He looked like he just wasn't even running like that. See, that's the thing. Sometimes you see a fighter who doesn't make weight, who missed weight by a couple of pounds, and they look strong as hell. You're like, okay, he didn't make weight, but the guy ripped. And sometimes you see guys who don't make weight, and they be having a little belly out there, be a little chubby and shit. So that, it's a difference between not making weight because you didn't do what you're supposed to do to cut that weight, as far as running enough or the way that you ate, but you still went hard on your working out. And then there's the people who don't make weight because they didn't run like that, didn't do sit-ups, ate like crazy, and then they show up with a little belly. So, in the case of Fulton, he looked like he just didn't do what he was supposed to do, yo. That's my take. Side, would it have made a difference, though? Fulton can't beat Foster. I don't know if it would have made a difference. It's hard to say. But let me just point something out, and I want you to consider this. If you're not in shape, you're not performing to the best of your abilities. So, even though he got his ass whooped, I ain't gonna cap, but I believe that he could have been more competitive. Even if he lost, he could have been more competitive. That's one thing that we never really take into consideration. Number one, when fighters show up overweight, but they're out of shape. And number two, when fighters dehydrate themselves to make weight, and we don't take that into consideration, but you're weaker, your speed is not the same, your timing is not the same. There's a lot of things that affect you. That's why there's times that we don't really understand what the great fighters go through. Sometimes, and I'm telling you, my people, nobody gets to fight night in every single fight. There's fights that the great ones got there and they wasn't at 100%. And we don't know that, but they still won. But we say shit like, oh, he didn't look the same. He didn't dominate. But we don't know what's behind that. We don't know that this guy twisted an ankle in training camp and lasted like 2 weeks that he couldn't run. By the time he got back to running, they had a speed. They had to rush through cutting that weight. We don't know that. We don't know about the times that the fighter got injury and they don't tell us nothing about. Go out there, still get that W. So, look at Andre Ward. He was talking about it recently. His first fight with Kovalev. Remember he got dropped? And he was talking about it. The day of the fight, he drained. The same day of the fight. Think about that. You a fighter in the morning, and he said himself, normally you're supposed to be going 100% on all cylinders. Everything good. You already know you did everything you were supposed to do. The day of the fight, you having your knee drained, getting this needle going into your knee to drain that water out of it, your knee swollen the size of 2 knees, the day of the fight? But what Andre Ward do? Still got the W. Still got that W. So and I guarantee you, if somebody had the opportunity to talk to Floyd Mayweather, if I had the opportunity, that's something that I would bring up. How many times did Floyd Mayweather fight where he wasn't at 100%? Not at 100% physically, as far as the way that he work out, the way that he, hydrate himself, the way that he eat, the way Floyd Mayweather was always on point. But I guarantee you there was times that he stepped in the ring with a little pain in the shoulder or a little pain in the elbow. I said shoulder and held my elbow, with a little pain in the elbow or in the shoulder or an ankle that got a little bit tweaked while training. You don't know how often fighters go in the ring with something that's hurting, and they still perform. And sometimes we watch them lose, and we're like, oh, he ain't know that he got exposed. And you don't even know Buddy was fighting fucked up. And they won't even tell us. Alexis, do you think Tio will beat Shakur Stevenson? No. Shakur Stevenson is going to win this fight by unanimous decision. That's a prediction I made. I don't miss predictions, so you could either go with it or be wrong. Side, Andre Ward is underrated. A great 168 fantasy fight is Kawasaki and Ward. Ooh, I would have loved that fight. How about Ward versus Roy Jones Jr.? Think about that. And you see Andre Ward retired undefeated, and people don't even talk about it like that. But I need you to understand something about Andre Ward. He's kind of like, I'm going to compare him to a basketball player, and I've done that before. I would compare Andre Ward to Tim Duncan. Why? Tim Duncan, one of the greatest centers of all time. Yet, he was never as big of a star as other guys who didn't even accomplish as much as him. You know why? Timmy was the type of player who would win an NBA title and quietly go home to his family. No red carpet, no partying, no controversy. Whooping ass in the NBA. And then just go home to his family, live a normal life. Like he ain't even a world champion. Like he ain't even one of the best to do it. A regular dude. And that's why he didn't become that big of a star like other guys. You saw basketball players from his same era who didn't even win NBA titles, who was bigger stars than Tim Duncan. Why? Because they was in every red carpet, in every camera. They was putting their face in front of the cameras. They was in all the interviews, in the controversies, and everything. And that makes your star power go up. Tim Duncan wasn't interested in none of that shit. So Andre Ward was that type of fighter. He would step in the ring, bait your ass, and then quietly go home like nothing happened. You never heard of a controversy related to Andre Ward. You never really saw him on TV unless he was getting ready for a fight or fighting. He just stood away from the spotlight. Never got in front of the camera. Never. That's why. But Andre Ward, one of the best of his generation. Dilbert, a lot of money coming in for T.O. last couple of hours. It doesn't matter. A lot of people going to be all that money being flushed down the toilet. Right down the toilet, my G. Side, people always say something about these fighters that retire undefeated. They say Ward lost to Kovalev. Like some say Bud lost to Madrimov. But you know how it is. Haters gonna hate, right? Haters are gonna hate. That's what they do. That's what they always gonna do. All you gotta do. That's why I love talking about accomplishments. Why? Because that's not up to debate. That's not up for debate. You either accomplished or you did not. That's it. It's different than opinion. You can have whatever opinion you want. Terrence Crawford, he only fought bums. He only fought washed up fighters. He never beat nobody. That's an opinion. You can have that. I don't even waste my time arguing opinion. I bring up the facts. 5 division champion, 3 division undisputed champion, goated. John Parra. Boy, it's getting ugly over here with that weather, man. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. It's getting beautiful over here. I mean, yesterday night, sometimes it's getting a little bit cloudy. This time of year, get a little bit cloudy. A little bit of rain here and there. But overall, look. This how I was outside right now. Little t-shirt. But like I told y'all, because tonight there's gonna be a lot of good fights. Tonight's live is gonna start early. I'm not just gonna be calling the main event. I'm gonna be calling all these fights. Exciting. We got exciting matchups. Exciting matchups. Which, by the way, my peoples, earlier I was talking about Zuffa boxing. Already told you guys. Mentioned it in today's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Great job. Love the matchups. The uniforms, I hated them. It made it look like it's a B league. Everybody wearing the same uniforms. I wasn't feeling that. Wasn't feeling that at all. The fact that fighters cannot advertise with the that, you know, they can't advertise with nothing. I didn't like that. You know, freedom is something that we enjoy. And I'm pretty sure fighters enjoy the freedom of expressing their creativity in their shorts. That's why earlier today, I showed you guys Stephen Fulton's jean boxing shorts and Timberland boxing shoes. That was iconic. That's something that people's always gonna remember and talk about. Like, damn, that was fire. So the action, though, I gotta tell you, the action, Bobas, salute. The action, it was good. That's why I give props to the matchmakers. Zuffa Boxing put together some real good fights. It was exciting to watch. And all of the fights were competitive. Gotta give them credit for that. 2 different fighters lost their O on that night. Yes. So when you got multiple fighters losing their O on the same night, that says a lot. And I told you guys earlier today, remember that I said this. You're not going to see a lot of people staying undefeated on Zuffa Boxing. Because they're not going to allow you to fight guys with a record of 5 wins and losses until you get to 25 wins and you're ready to step up. They're not having that. You 10-0, they're going to put you with another guy that's 10-0. Or they're going to put you with a guy that's 15-1. And they're going to put you... You're going to have to beat tough opponents. So you have to give credit to Zuffa Boxing for those matchups. If you're not the real deal, you're going to take a L. You're going to take a couple of L's early on. The best from the good fighters, they're going to separate themselves early on. It's not, if you're not like that, in Zuffa Boxing, you're not going to make it to 20-0, 25-0. That shit is not going to happen if you're not like that. So on Zuffa, when you see that a fighter gets to those numbers, 20-0 and above, undefeated, you know it's going to be for real. They for real. It's not going to be a manufactured undefeated record. Boo-boos. I like when they come in with colors representing their country. And let me tell you something. And I brought this up in today's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Macho Camacho created a trend in boxing. I remember those crazy outfits he used to wear. I used to love that. until today. Think about it. Camacho started that trend over 30 years ago. Today, you'll still see most of the fighters wearing the Macho Camacho shorts. Today. Every PBC fighter, especially when they was on fire, Macho Camacho style shorts. And Zuffa took that away. With them little shorts that everybody wearing, it's a uniform. They got a uniform. That's the one thing I didn't like at all. It was hard for me to digest it. Because we take that for granted. But even the way the fighters look is part of the entertainment that we get. Even the way that they look. So when you start watching these guys on Zuffa, like, God damn, what are you wearing, bro? What is this? I want to see if I can find. Look at this. Look at what the Zuffa fighters is wearing. That's what they're wearing right there. One gets to wear white shorts and the other black shorts. The shorts are identical, so it takes away from the fighters' individuality. Shaggy, salute, my brother. You're taking away from the fighters' creative freedom. Now everybody wearing exactly the same shorts. And all you have is the Zuffa logo. That's whack. Exactly, boo-boos. No personality whatsoever. No freedom to express your creativity at all. We don't even think that we take that for granted. But trust me, we enjoy the flashy outfits. We enjoy the colorful shit. We enjoy when a guy shows up with his Mexican sombrero and the other guy shows up with whatever he wants to show up with. We enjoy that. That's it. Zuffa took it all away. Everybody's going to look the same. WH, salute, my brother. Everybody's going to look the same. Everybody's going to dress the same. And you can't promote nothing. You cannot make extra money. We the only ones that are going to promote our shit. The first fight that I saw both guys wearing them Zuffa shorts that look like shit. Them shit look like they got them for $12.99 in Payless. Well, Payless sells shoes, I think. But in a 99-cent store, they got them shorts. And the first fight, I was like, oh shit, damn, they both wearing Zuffa shorts. Young guns, up and coming. They gave them the free shorts to promote the brand. Cool. But then the next fight, I'm like, oh shit, black and white Zuffa shorts again. By the third fight, that's when I realized I caught on that it's a uniform for all fighters. So when I realized, oh shit, this is a uniform, that's when I started noticing everything else. Yeah, John Parham, come on, bro. Them short-ass shorts with your knees sticking out. Looking at like the 80s basketball players. Look at this. Look at Ornelas looking like John Stockton in the 80s with them nut huggers. And when I realized it was a uniform, that's when I said, wait a minute. Let me notice everything else. Oh shit. They walking in with a Zuffa robe. The trainers are wearing Zuffa hats. Everybody's wearing exactly the same uniform. Oh shit, this shit is whack. This shit is whack. That shit, it just didn't sit right with my spirit, my peoples. Because you know what? I'm somebody who likes to be an individual. I like my individuality. You'll notice I don't try to dress like other people. I don't try to look like other people. I don't try to act like other people. I like being different. I like being me. And we're all different in a way. We all have our own mentality, our own perception, our own creativity in a different way. Zuffa's not allowing that. You all gonna look the same. You all gonna wear this uniform. You're gonna look the way we tell you you're gonna look. I don't like it. I don't like it, my peoples. Wes Dussin, like activated as always, my brother. I appreciate you. Hit that like button, my peoples. You see what it is. Wes Dussin, he been supporting Box Center, been supporting. When he step in here, he don't even wait to see what I'm talking about. Bang, hit the like button. And I do that too. Wes Dustin, I heard Bam was on the move to Zuffa. Yo, it looks like a lot of fighters is going to be going over there. It looks like it. John Parham, all same color. No fancy stuff or personalized gear. Hopefully, they make changes. I'm hoping for that too. I'm hoping that they're going to listen to the fans, listen to the fighters, and understand that this shit is whack. You giving us real good action. It's a real good production, my peoples. The audio was nice and clear. The footage, everything, it looked... Only the uniforms, man. The uniforms made me feel like I was watching some B-level boxing shit. Like, we're already used to it. And I said it this morning, my peoples. Dana White was able to incorporate uniforms in MMA because he built it up to what it is today. When MMA started and it was little, you know, most people didn't care about it. People could wear whatever they want. But Dana White blew that thing up, made it a global sport, and because of that, he was able to incorporate his UFC uniforms. You didn't make boxing. Boxing been around for decades. And it's like I told you, Hector Camacho made it a trend to wear these flashy shorts, this flashy gear, showing up with this Indian costume, police costume, all these different costumes. Crazy, creative, iconic are words that we can use to describe Hector Camacho. Until this day, fighters is wearing the Hector Camacho trunks. Till this day. Now, you're telling me that these guys are going to be wearing these shits? A white, somebody with white trunks and somebody with black trunks? No logo, no advertisement, no nothing. Just that. With a Zuffa logo in the back. That shit look like a B-League. We're going to be watching boxing tonight. And you're going to see some flashy ass shit. You're going to see some flashy outfits tonight. So, and tomorrow I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you tomorrow the side by side. How the Zuffa boxers look versus how the boxers from tonight are going to look. And you're going to see a big difference. You're going to see a lot of colors. You're going to see creativity. You're going to see individuals. You're not getting that with Zuffa. The optics, uniforms, it's hard for me to let that sit well with my spirit, my peoples. Bobos, I like seeing 10 sponsors on trunks. You know they making that money, bro. And I like that too. That tells me you're getting paid. You're not only relying on your fighter's purse. There's a company out there that say, yo, I'm going to give you $1,500 to put my logo in your shorts. Another company saying, yo, I'm going to give you $2,500 to put my logo on there. And that depends. If you're on the big stage, you might get it. Yo, I'm going to give you $5,000. I'm going to give you $8,000 to put that logo in there. So it depending on where you're fighting and your level of popularity. But the point is that fighters were able or are able to make extra money. Not on Zuffa. You only gonna wear the shit we tell you and how we tell you. Doesn't sit well with my spirit, y'all. Real talk. Tyrell, that was more common in our era. Chris Fonson, salute, bam. Tyrell, you still some young cat today being themselves, but it becomes more rare. Come on, bro. Every single card, you're going to see some fire shorts. Every single card. Well, I'm referring to, because obviously in a small little venue is different. I'm referring to this big fights. For example, tonight. Tonight we're gonna see in the main event Andy Cruz versus Raymond Murataya. Bro, I guarantee you they're gonna be wearing some fire ass trunks. You're gonna see Zaquin Moses. He's gonna be wearing some fire ass shorts. If Khalil Cole fights, his shit gonna be crazy. The robe is gonna be crazy. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see colors. You're gonna see a guy with blue trunks. You're gonna see a guy with red trunks. Then the next fight, somebody got green on their shit. Somebody got purple. All that adds to the visuals of what we're seeing. It makes it look better. These dudes look like they fighting in a B league. Them shorts look cheap as hell. Come on, bro. Tyrell. Can't blame them though. But their environment. I do stuff. Camacho with the Indian headgear was crazy. Fire. What? And not just the Indian headgear. Remember when he got the full-blown Indian outfit? The full-blown police outfit? The full-blown whatever the hell he wanted to be on that fight? The creativity with Camacho was crazy. And the shorts was no joke. The leopard shorts, the army shorts. Come on, man. That's it. That disappears with Zuffa. They're like, no. You wear the white shorts, you wear the black shorts. No logo, no advertisement, no creativity, nothing. That's whack, if you ask me. John Pam got to do more from fans. Prince Nassim Hamed used to be on his shit. Oh my God. Prince Nassim Hamed outfits was always crazy. Crazy. And Hector Camacho, just like Prince Nassim Hamed afterwards, I think Camacho probably influenced Hamed. You actually look forward to see what the hell they was going to wear. What is Camacho going to wear for this fight? How he going to outdo that last outfit that he was wearing? That's it. That all disappears. So I hope that Dana White and His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh consider changing that stuff about the uniforms. Uniforms, that's wicked work. We used to see fighters having that freedom to express their creativity via whatever they wearing to make extra money with advertisement, and Zuffa just took all that away just like that. I don't like it. John Parham. Oh no, W8, the flying carpet. You ain't gonna ever see nobody flying in no Zuffa boxing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Boxing has been around a long time. And throughout its history, we've seen creativity that's gonna disappear. Because, let me tell you, to me, one of the most iconic outfits, we saw it recently. Stephen Fulton. Bro, Timberland boxing shoes, G boxing shorts, that was epic. Epic. Wes Dustin Devin will sport some cool shit. I'm telling you, all these fighters, think about the outfits Errol Spence used to be wearing. The outfits Tank Davis be wearing. There's a lot of fighters who that disappears. No more. Wes Dustin, Tim's and jean shorts was epic for sure, bro. That shit was crazy. I'm telling you, people gonna be talking about that for a long time. When we talk about fire iconic outfits, you know Wes Dustin, it don't get no more New York than Tim's and jeans. Jean shorts, Tim's, and then it's the way that they fixed it. Because his boxing shoes, they really look like Tim's. They really fixed them shit to look just like Tim's. The shorts, they look like they was jean shorts for real. So whoever had that idea, whoever came up with it, whoever designed it, they went ham on that joint. So compare that, all of those iconic outfits to these two guys. Bro, if you take away the boxing gloves, these two motherfuckers look like they two inmates going to play handball. Like they let them out for their rec time. And they going to play handball. Look at that shit. Come on, man. Come on, my peoples. That shit look whack as hell. Somebody got to reach out to Dana and tell them, Dana, no. And remember I told you this as well. Because boxers, they're regular people just like me and you. They human just like me and you. So for an opportunity with Zuffa Boxing to get on that platform, to get on that stage, people sign a contract. All these fighters, they sign a contract. They agree to wear that goofy ass uniform. WA goofiest of the oofiest. They agree. So the fighters know that they gotta wear that Zuffa crap. They know and they agree to it. But I promise you, they don't like it. I guarantee you that it's something that you do because you don't have a choice, not because you want to. And you know what's the problem when you're forced to do something that you don't really want to do, but you don't got a choice? Once you get your name out there, once you blow up, once you could get offered somewhere else, you're going to leave. Zuffa's going to get a lot of that. Fighters are going to sign with them, come up, get their star power up, and when that contract expires, pew, they're going to get the hell out of it. They're going to say, nah, I want my freedom. Right now, everybody's in that honeymoon stage. Everybody's getting that new Zuffa money. It may not be a lot, but you're getting paid. Guys got paid yesterday for their fight, right? Getting that Zuffa money. But at some point, you're gonna reach a level of popularity that you're gonna say, man, fuck these motherfuckers. You got a plantation going on over here, son? What you mean I gotta wear a uniform? What kind of shit is this? People gonna reject that. They gonna reject it. Boobas. I hear Zuffa has long-term contracts. No escape. I mean, long-term contract, I don't think anybody's signing a contract more than 4 years. I don't think so. I don't think. Now, this is speculation. This is speculation. But honestly, I don't think their contracts is going to be more than 4 years. I don't think nobody on there has a contract that is longer than that. Once that contract is up and you got your star power up and you don't have to do what you're told and dress how you're told, you're going to get the hell out of it. Watch. John Parent. Zuffa's supposed to be a come-up, but they have to do better. John Parent, all contracts can be canceled. And it's like I told you, look, when you're in a honeymoon stage, you let a lot of shit slide. There's a lot of shit that you're willing to look away because we in this honeymoon stage. We getting on the show. We getting on the stage. We're the first guys to kick this thing off. You're in a honeymoon stage. But wait till a fighter, wait till 2-3 years down the line, 4, whatever it is, when fighters on Zuffa start getting to the tail end of their contract. And that's when you're going to start seeing that people are unhappy. It's like getting good. Listen, people who get a job somewhere, what happens? If you want to work somewhere, you happy you got the job. They hire you, you happy you got the job. You happy you're going to get paid every Friday or every other week, whatever it is. You happy. But once you've been at that job for 3-4 years, that's when you start to notice shit that you don't like. Oh, shit, I don't like this. Oh, shit, I don't like that. Whoa, wait a minute. So everybody's going to be happy right now with Zuffa Boxing. But I want to see how fighters really feel about having to wear a uniform. Because remember, if you ain't getting no opportunities, you're inactive, you're not getting no fights, you don't mind stepping in there wearing that uniform. You ain't fighting anyways. But then these fighters who are already used to having that freedom, how they gonna feel when they sign with Zuffa Boxing? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Bobos, Rayo Valenzuela on Zuffa too. I read about that. Well, I didn't read that he was on Zuffa too. What I read was that he was already in the process of signing a contract to be on Zuffa Boxing. And I tell you what, Rayo Valenzuela is a good example of what fighters do, or what fighters will be doing when they get done dirty. They did him dirty. PBC did him dirty. And I'm going to show you why. I want you to think about this. Rayo Valenzuela went to fight Pitbull. And Pitbull was the favorite to win that fight. If Pitbull won that fight, he was supposed to get a rematch with Tank Davis. Well, Rayo Valenzuela pulled off the upset and beat Pitbull. Now, what has PBC done with a lot of fighters, a lot of their champions? They giving them some easy fights. They giving them some tune-ups. They allowed them to defend that title multiple times. What they do to Rayo Valenzuela? He beat Pitbull. The very next fight, they fed him to Gary Antoine Russell. Funny thing about that, Gary Antoine Russell was not his mandatory. That's number one. And number two, most importantly, they didn't even give Rayo a rematch clause. They be doing that with their fighters all the time. You beat him, now you got to fight him again. And Rayo Valenzuela got no rematch clause. So in other words, right after fighting Pitbull, yeah, go fight Gary Antoine Russell, no rematch clause. Wait a minute. But goddamn, this is a short time. I didn't even recover, right? Can I get a little defense within the sanctioning body? Can I? If you don't fight this guy, you're not fighting at all. You're going to sit on the shelf. You cooked. He had no choice. For Gary Antoine Russell, right after Pitbull, lost. And look, we haven't heard from him since. PBC did him dirty. So what he do? Now that he's disillusioned with how they did him, go to Zuffa Boxing. That's going to be an option now. You trying to keep me inactive? You trying to shit on me, all of this stuff? I'm going to go to Zuffa. But, Boo-boos, and they robbed him versus Colbert. That was a crazy fight, though, man. That was a crazy fight. Jabba versus Martin next. That's a good fight. Besides, straight after Pitbull, they fed him to Gary Antoine Russell. Did him wrong, bro. That's why I tell you sometimes promotional companies, they mess up because they have their guy that they want to win so that they could set up the big fight. And when the other guy wins, they just can't wait to snatch that title from him. That's why you notice, and PBC done that a lot, with their guys, they'll let them get a tune-up. They'll let them get an easy fight. They'll let them fight this guy some wins. But if it's not their guy, you cook. They want to take that belt from you right away. Feed you to the best guy that's going to get it from you. Let me give you another example. Jason Rosario. Jason Banana Rosario. What happened with him? He beat J-Rock. They took him over there to lose. Took him over there to get his ass whooped. Pulled off the upset. Beat J-Rock. Nobody expected that wasn't supposed to happen. And what was his very next fight? Jermell Charlo. Very next fight. Yeah, go fight Jermell. No quick title defense. No tune-up. No rematch clause. Go fight the best guy we got. We need that belt back. That belt was not for you, buddy. J-Rod was supposed to beat you, and that was supposed to set up a fight with Charlo. You wasn't supposed to get that. You got it. We need to take that from you ASAP. Sometimes promotional companies do that to fighters. They got their guys who they look out for, who they set them up to keep winning and defending their titles, and then they got the guys that are not there, that are not their guys, that are supposed to lose when you go for the title shot. You're supposed to get beat, but they pull off the upset. What happens when you pull off the upset? We're gonna need that title back ASAP, son. We're gonna match you with somebody that we know is gonna take that from you. Boo-boos, I hope Heart sparks Cole. Man, listen, Khalil Cole, 8 pounds overweight. That's nasty work. Nasty, nasty work. Side, Charlo knocked the hell out of J-Rock. Facts. West does it. Rayo was legit. And I'm going to tell you something. I actually posted about Rayo Valenzuela maybe like, I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago. When he was real early, he was like 10-0, 11-0, something like that. And I told people, this kid is going to be a world champion. And you know how it goes with boxing. As soon as somebody loses, they're like, yeah, he ain't know that. He's a hype job, a bum, and overrated, all of that stuff. But I believe in Rayo Valenzuela because he's a very skilled fighter. And I told people, yo, he could beat Pitbull. Matter of fact, if this fight goes the distance, he's going to cook him. He's going to outbox him. And that's exactly what happened. But they just had to take that title from him ASAP. Matched him up with Gary Antoine Russell right away. John Pound, Greg Hackett think it will work in Sparks' advantage. It could. If Khalil Cole showed up 8 pounds overweight because he just didn't do what he was supposed to do, because there's a difference. And I said that earlier today. There's a difference between the fighter who's doing everything, the running, the sparring, all of the training, but he's not doing what he's supposed to with the nutrition. He's still eating crazy. But all the training is on point. You're going to be a problem versus a dude who showed up 8 pounds overweight. Now, if you showed up 8 pounds overweight because you wasn't running like you supposed to, you wasn't training like you supposed to, you could get cooked. Khalil Cole could be out of gas by the 4th, 5th round. If you showed up 8 pounds overweight because you wasn't working out the way you supposed to, he might be out of gas by the 4th, 5th round. We're going to find out. Some guy, JSmiff, saludos, manín. ¿Qué lo que, manito? Bam! Tunnel vision. You world champion, you should be able to fight anyone. If you can, you don't need to have that belt. You're supposed to fight everyone. That is facts. Factual information. But here's the magic question. Did you see Tank Davis fighting anyone at 135? Because he shared that division with Shakur Stevenson, with Teofimo Lopez, with Devin Haney. He didn't fight any of them. So you see, you're supposed to fight anyone, but will you? Will your promoters make you fight the big dogs? You see, that's when they get interesting. If you're their guy, you don't have to fight. You don't have to fight the best. They're not going to force you to fight the best. But if you're Rayo Valenzuela, yeah, go fight Gary Antoine Russell. If you Jason Banana, yeah, go fight Jermell Charlo. If you're not one of their guys, you're going to have to fight the best right away. You're going to grab that belt when you wasn't supposed to. Your very next fight, you're going to fight the very best out there. It's like they can't wait to take that belt from you. Things be that way sometimes. It'd be crazy like that. West does it. Rayo should be fighting Ryan Garcia. Honestly, I don't think so, because Ryan Garcia is already at the welterweight division. Not only that, if you recall, Even when Ryan Garcia was at 135 officially, he never fought at 135 towards the tail end. His last few fight was all at a catch weight. All of them. So we had Ryan Garcia listed as a 135 pounder, and the last year that he was in that weight class, or even the last couple of years, he was never fighting at actually 135. He was always fighting at a catch weight. So I think Rayo Valenzuela and Ryan Garcia, they never really officially been in the same division. Because Ryan Garcia just listed at 135, but he's fighting at higher weight classes and catch weights. Side, Rayo should move up to 147. You see, he moved up to 147, but he's a good fighter. He'll be competitive versus anybody. Side, who do you think has a tough task? Keyshawn with Ortiz or Shakur with Teofimo? Of course, you're looking at yourself. Look at you looking at yourself. So, I gotta say, Jermaine Ortiz is a very good fighter, but the toughest fight is definitely Teofimo Lopez. And I said it before, my peoples. When it comes to Jermaine Ortiz, and that's what shows you that I'm not biased. Jermaine Ortiz is Dominican, and I support Dominican fighters. I'm Dominican, living in the Dominican Republic right now. But I criticize Jermaine Ortiz. Why? Because he's shown me. You want your video game? Jermaine Ortiz, go get it, bring it to me. Jermaine Ortiz has shown me that he could be competitive versus the top level guys. But he hasn't shown me that he could beat them. Come on, Ryan, let me put it on for you. He hasn't shown me that he could beat them. With Teofimo Lopez, he was competitive. But if you look at the championship rounds, nah, he was fighting like he was happy to be there. Same thing with Lomachenko. He was competitive. Championship rounds, it looked like he was just happy to be there. It looked like he was just happy to say, yo, he didn't beat me up. I did good. It's like he was there to do good against them. He didn't try to take it from him. So, I wouldn't even compare him to Teofimo Lopez because Jermaine Ortiz hasn't won a title yet. Wes Dustin, I'm a Keyshawn hater till I see something spectacular against somebody in the top tier. Side, agreed, Wes. Hold on, let me put this video game for my son, man. He trying to play his video games. Vobos, Ortiz, keep it a little too safe. I agree with you 100%, bro. Ortiz, he want to play it safe. He fights like he's trying to avoid getting hit with big shots. You want to play Batman?
No, I want to play Ninja Turtles.
Ooh, you want to play the Ninja Turtles, huh? Tunnel vision. Ryan wasn't forced to unify versus any world champions. Tunnel vision.
Thanks.
What, like, you're not understanding what happened with Rayo, bro. He beat Pitbull Cruz, and the very next fight, he was forced to fight Gary Antoine Russell. How can you not see that they did him dirty, bro? Your first title defense versus Gary Antoine Russell? You want Michelangelo? And I need you to understand something. I want you to think about this tunnel vision. Rayo Valenzuela didn't even have Gary Antoine Russell as a mandatory. He did not have to fight him. The PBC forced him to fight him. Think about that. He didn't have to fight him. Now add this to it so you understand it better. He didn't have to fight him. They forced the fight and didn't even give him a rematch clause, my G. Not even a rematch clause. So I'm showing you, they just couldn't wait to take that title from him. Pitbull was supposed to beat him. When he beat Pitbull, they were like, nah, we need that title back. Go fight Gary Antoine Russell. Oh, you don't want to fight him? Robert Garcia's out there. You can look up the Robert Garcia video when he says it. He's like, yo, He wasn't even ready for that fight, but he couldn't say no. They were like, yo, you either going to fight or you're going to go in the shelf. Inactivity for you, baby. Look at it like that. So at the end of the day, why there's fighters, like, think about this. Gary Antoine Russell is, by some people, considered the best 140-pounder. You can arguably say this guy's the best 140-pounder. The best. Now, on the other hand, look at Tank Davis. Tunnel vision. You never seen Tank Davis fight nobody that was labeled as the best? The best? Most people didn't even know Pitbull Cruz before he fought Tank Davis. They didn't even know him. Most people didn't even know Lamont Roach himself before he fought Tank Davis. How many fighters Tank Davis fought who moved up in weight to fight him? Lamont Roach, Andrade Garcia. Then he went down to fight Leo Santa Cruz. Why Rayo Valenzuela had to fight one of the best right away? You don't think about that? It don't matter that he's coming off of a loss. Still considered one of the best. Or if you don't want to accept, look, I'm telling you the facts. If you don't want to accept that, did you not see when Jason Rosario won his title? Who was his very next fight? Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo, the very next fight. No tune-up. No fighting a guy from a lower division like Tank Davis. No. Go fight the best. Go fight world champion Jermell Charlo in your first title defense. They couldn't wait to take that title from him, family. I'm just telling you the facts. And not to mention, this is what you have to understand, Tunnel Vision. Gary Antoine Russell wasn't his mandatory. He didn't have to fight him. Do you understand that? Did not have to fight him. But they forced him. They literally said, you're going to fight this guy. You're not going to get a rematch clause. And if you don't want to fight him, you're not going to fight at all. You're going to sit down and do nothing. That's why right now, Rayo Valenzuela is on sue for boxing because they did him dirty, bro. And the thing is, Tunnel Vision, you don't want to accept that PBC was out there doing fighters dirty. Look how everybody left the PBC, bro. Look. How many fighters are with the PBC right now? Come on. How many fighters are right now, star fighters are with the PBC right now? You have to Google it. How many shows did the PBC have in all of 2025? Remember, Matchroom is giving us cards every single month, almost weekly. Golden Boy, every single month, they giving us cards. Top Rank, almost every week they giving us cards. How about PBC? How many PBC cards we saw last year? All last year. 3? 4? We seen PBC fighters fighting on other networks, going on other people's networks and other people's shows. You're not accepting the reality, fam. You're not accepting what they did is been their downfall. A lot of fighters understood, damn, PBC got their guys. Their guys, they make sure they match them up the way that is good for them. If you're not one of their guys, your ass is cooked. They're going to force you to fight the best right away. Tank Davis had a rematch clause with Lamont Roach. You forgot that? You don't remember that? Tank had a rematch clause with Lamont Roach. Tank never had to fight any of the best. So you see, you keep looking at everybody else saying, no, it's because it's a unification. No, it's because... But you still haven't said anything about Tank, fam. Okay, so Tunnel Vision. So I ask you, The same way that we saw Banana Rodriguez had to fight Jamel Charlo, and you're like, yeah, that was a unification though. So how come Tank Davis never unified titles? Tunnel vision. You want to tell me what's your logic behind that? Why you have a good logic for why they forced a guy to fight Jamel Charlo according to you? Because they move into unify. Hold on, but why they didn't move to unify Tank Davis ever? Why Tank Davis ain't never unified titles in his whole career? What's your logic behind that? You don't think that is because, well, this is our guy and we're gonna protect him differently than if you not our guy? You don't think so? That doesn't make sense to you? Like that shit is beyond obvious, my G, the way they operate. And that's the reason why fighters who was with PBC a while back are not with PBC anymore. Come on now. Tunnel vision. What other world champion are on PBC 135? Oh, so now it's only, now you're narrowing it down that they have to be on PBC? We good, fam. That's it. We already know. You're a tankomaniac and you're going to defend no matter what. Now they have to be on PBC to fight Tank. But wait a minute. We've seen PBC fighters fight somebody on Top Rank. We've seen PBC fighters fight somebody else on the zone. Tank can't do it? That's what you're saying? Damn, bro. You see, PBC went down sad, going down sad because of that mindset. You're going to defend them no matter what. Meanwhile, the fighters are like, yeah, we ain't fucking with these people. Everybody's inactive. Nobody's fighting. They don't got no cards. And now you bringing back the side of the street too? You supporting that? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. It's not that I brought Tank up. It's that look what you're doing. All these fighters that was forced to fight the best right away, and when Tank not forced to fight the best, you're like, yeah, but who else is on PBC at 135? That's it. You're an Al Haymanite and a tankomaniac. Because what you're doing is making an argument based on PBC logic. You sound like a PBC employee. Nah, yo, PBC didn't have nobody else at 135. That's some Al Haymanite shit, bro. What are you talking about? Boo-boos, everybody duck Tank. Diablo loco, you gotta be that. That's gotta be jokes. That's gotta be jokes. Tunnel vision, you support Zuffa. That will be in-house fights. Who said I support in-house fights? Who told you that, bro? Yeah, that's gotta be bugging out. Who told you that? Look. That's what happens when you're an Al Haymanite, when you're a tankomaniac, you try to deflect. But what you don't realize is that they already said they're going to allow Jai Opetaia to fight for the other sanctioning bodies, and they're going to allow him to fight outside. So you talking what you don't even know you're talking about because they've already said fighters are going to be able to fight elsewhere. So your point, I debunked it quite easily. When you see Jai Opetaia fighting to try to unify and to try to become undisputed, your point is going to be debunked. Didn't take me 30 seconds to debunk your point. Zuffa Boxing is going to allow fighters to fight for the sanctioning bodies and for the other belts. Point debunked. Easily. Tunnel vision, that is not what Dana said. Actually, it was Dana who said that Jai Opetaia is going to be allowed to fight the other fights for the sanctioning body. It was. Like I said, man, you don't have to believe it. You don't have to take my word. You don't want to take my word for it because you're a tankomaniac and an Al Haymanite. All you can do is defend Tank, defend Al Heyman, defend the PBC. You already pointed at Top Rank. No, look, people left from Top Rank too. And no, look, it's not the side of the street, so Tank couldn't fight anybody because the other 135 pounds was not on the same side of the street. That's embarrassing, bro. That's embarrassing that you can make that argument. Side, PBC had a stranglehold on 147 and 154. Only spanner in the works was Bud Crawford. John Parham. How is it easy to make unification at 154? First of all, Dana did say that. I know Dana said it, but when I'm telling Tunnel Vision that Dana said it, he can't even acknowledge that Dana said it because it doesn't sit with his narrative. It doesn't sit with the argument that he was trying to make. So when you try to make an argument and Jay Stradamus, boom, debunks that argument within 5 seconds, you got to see, how did you hear Dana White say it? It's not going to happen. You're not going to remember this conversation when Jai Opetaia is fighting for one of them belts. You're going to forget you said this. And if you remember you said this, you're going to feel goofy as hell. Because I told you, and you couldn't just take my word for it. You could have. You could have said, yeah, Jay told me. It's true. Jay's not going to lie like that. Man, how long you been on this channel? Have you seen me lying before? Have you seen me capping before? Oh, this is going to be the first time that I happen to be lying. Come on, Tunnel Vision. You're embarrassing yourself, bro. You got to wait to see it? You can't believe me? That's because you're on some Tankamaniac shit. You're on some Al Heymanite shit. You're on some PBC fanboy type shit. So you're like, nah, we'll see. I can't believe what Jay Stradamus, I can't believe what Jay said. I can't believe John Parham who confirmed it. I gotta wait till I see it. And what happens when you see it? How are you gonna feel when you see it? How are you gonna feel when you realize that I was right and you were wrong? Are you gonna feel goofy? Like, damn, I should have listened to Jay. I should have been listening to him. But you cannot listen because when you're a Tankamaniac, your only focus is defending Tank, Al, and the PBC. That's your only focus. Wes does it. Damn, JSmiff cooking Tunnel Vision. Cooking tunnel sandwiches for everyone. Everybody is feasting on you, Tunnel Vision. Everybody's taking a free bite. You tasty right now with the Tankamaniac logic. You're going to lose every time, bro. You're going to lose every time. You really sat here. I want you to listen. I'm going to repeat what you said. You really said that Tank Davis couldn't fight any other champions at 135 because they wasn't on PBC. Yo, can it get more Tankamaniac, more Al Heymanite, more PBC fanboy than that? Nah, yo, Tank didn't have no champions at 135 he could fight, so he didn't have to fight the best. Repeat that shit again, man, so they could hear you say it, bro. Repeat that shit again. Tell me again, Tunnel Vision, why Tank Davis didn't fight none of the best at 135. He didn't fight Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. Tell us again, Tunnel Vision. Tell us again so we could keep feasting on you. Go ahead, put it in the comments, bro. I want to read that shit again. I want to read you saying, nah, yo, Tank Davis didn't have no champions that he could fight that was signed with the PBC. And he couldn't really fight nobody else. Tell me that shit again, bro. John Parham, do I smell boxing hibachi, bro? Tunnel Vision's on a grill right now with steaks, hot dogs. And Tunnel Vision getting chopped up. Wes does it. The human algorithm. It's a thought 12 rounds for anybody, bro. Come on, man. You know how we do this. You know how we do this. Boobas, it's about to be Tunnel Pack Zone. Let's see what Tunnel Vision got. Tunnel Vision. Damn, my battery playing games, y'all. None of those fighters made any serious attempt. Listen to this. Listen to this, y'all. I'ma say it in the voice that I imagine in my head. None of those fighters made any serious attempt to fight Tank. My point is, easier to make fights when champions are under the same promotion. Rayo Rosso, both PBC fighters at the same time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, look how easy it is to cook a Tankamaniac. Everybody knows that Tank is the A side, and Tank is the guy who sends contract. Tank is the guy who makes offer. Tank is the guy who fights whoever he wants. But according to Tunnel Vision, it's those guys who didn't make a serious effort. Now, have any of you, or Tunnel Vision, have any of you seen fighters make offers to Tank Davis? Which fighter Tank Davis fought that made an offer to him? So Look at that. Look at tunnel vision. Other guys, they gotta unify. They gotta fight the best. Tank Davis, nobody made a serious offer. Nobody wanted to fight him. You think Pitbull made an offer to Tank Davis? You think Roach made an offer to Tank Davis? You think anybody made an offer to Tank Davis, Tunnel Vision? No, Tunnel Vision. Don't embarrass yourself like that. Nobody ever makes offer to Tank Davis. He fights who he wants. Tank Davis fights who he wants. He's the one making offers. It's like everything you say to try to justify Tank Davis, you're cooking yourself. Hold on, man. Hold on. Listen, Tunnel Vision. Just get in here, man. Just get in here. Stop responding and just get in here. Because you cooking yourself. You really said nobody's making an offer. Nobody made a serious offer to Tank Davis. Who the hell you know that made an offer and got a fight with Tank Davis? Tank Davis is the one that makes offers. You never in your life seen Tank Davis say, I'm going to fight Shakur, I want him. I'm going to fight Devin, I want him. I'm going to fight Teo, I want him. You never in your life heard that nobody of those fighters turned down an offer from Tank Davis. But according to you, Tank Davis never made an offer. He never received an offer from those guys. The hell are you talking about? Nobody made an offer. Nobody offers anything to Tank Davis. He's the one that offers the fight. What don't you understand that, bro? Look, you out here cooking yourself. Jump in here. Jump in here. We're just going to put barbecue on you, bro. Go ahead. Tank Davis didn't get serious offers from those guys. My peoples, everyone in here, I challenge you. Look. I challenge you to put in the comments one single fighter who made an offer to Tank Davis. Go ahead, Tunnel Vision. Name one fighter that made an offer to Tank Davis and got a fight. One. How do you have the audacity to say that? You're jumping in this frying pan yourself. Do you want me to cook you with regular oil or olive oil? That's the real question that we got to ask here. Because we ain't never seen nobody make an offer to Tank Davis. What the hell delusional kind of shit you talking about, bro? All you need to tell me is olive oil or regular oil so we could cook you. Tell me. Or should we eat you like sushi? My man said, nah, no, none of those guys made a serious offer to Tank Davis. Can somebody explain to Tunnel Vision that Tank Davis is one of the few fighters in boxing who fights whoever he chooses? Somebody explain it to him, bro. Because this cooking session is crazy. Jesus Christ. I'm asking you, olive oil, regular oil. It's one of those two that could only be used to cook you right now. I think Matchroom made the offer to fight Farmer, and did they get it? Nope. They didn't get it. They didn't get it. It's embarrassing to say, well, Tank Davis didn't fight them because they didn't make an offer. Yo, you belong right here today, bro. In this conversation, you belong right here. This your home right now. Wes doesn't. Leonard Ellaby is who makes offers to Tank Davis. The bottom line is that we all know Tank Davis was handled differently. We all know that Tank Davis was managed in a way that he got to decide, or his team got to decide, these are the best opponents for us. But other fighters who became a world champion, nah, buddy, we need to take that belt from you. Go fight the very best. Go fight the very best, and we need that belt back. We saw that shit consistently. Not with Tank Davis, though. We didn't see that. You don't got to fight the best. You don't got to fight the world champions. You're going to fight guys who's moving up from a lower division repeatedly. Did it multiple times. What are we talking about? What are we really talking about? It's easy work. Tunnel vision is too easy. It's too easy to cook you when you make those arguments. Too easy. Now, I got to say this. Zuffa Boxing is going to capitalize on all these little things that people didn't like about their promotional companies. Boo-boos, don't forget Tank was spotted in a P. Diddy party. No comment. Because Devin Haney wasn't one. Devin Haney was in a pool with Diddy. So you can't. If we go that route, there's a lot of people that was spotted with Diddy. But I also got to say, and I do believe this. I really do believe this. There was people who was going to Diddy parties who didn't know exactly what was going on. Two left hooks, salute my brother. They may have thought something funny was up, but they didn't know exactly what was going on. And you know why I say that? Why I say that? Because I remember seeing this girl that's a model, and she was at a Diddy party, and she was like, a lot of people don't know this, but when you go to Diddy parties, there was two groups of people. There was always the people that was in the outside, you know, in the lawn. They would set up lawn chairs. They would set up tables with drinks and everything. And then there was people inside the house. So the people that was outside, they wasn't even allowed to go in the house. They was enjoying the party from the outside. And the model chick was like, yo, when this whole thing blow up about the Diddy parties, I was shocked. I didn't know it went down like that because I never got to go in the house. I went to multiple Diddy parties, and I just made it to the outside. So when you see people going into the house, you would just think, yo, they probably went in there to smoke weed, to sniff some coke, to do all these other things. If you outside, you don't really know what was going inside. You don't know. You didn't know that there was people getting it. Two left hooks, JSmiff. You calling the fights later? Hell yeah, my brother. I will be calling these fights, and because there's gonna be a lot of good fights, I'ma start early. I'ma probably go live from very early on. Card starts, and I'm gonna be calling most of the fights, if not all of them. Now, I do have to try to control my emotions a little bit, my peoples, because, yo, there's been a couple of times, man, where my heart was going. John Parent, you remember that show that I almost had to end the show, yeah? Left to the mouthpiece, right to the dome piece. Oh, shit, man, I left hook to the snack box. I don't want to be calling the last fight like that, y'all. So it's on the zone, my brother. It's on the zone. These fights are on the zone. So I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to try to control my emotions so that I can make it all the way to the end. Because I realize if I'm just calling like the co-main event and the main event, I'll go all out. But if I start going all out from the beginning, by the time I get to the last fight, shit. A right to the dome piece. Oh, shit, my peoples. A left hook to the toupee. A right to the wig piece. I don't want to be calling the main event like that, y'all. For real. Cy J put his life on the line for the commentary, man. Listen, god damn. I never thought I thought only the fighters' lives was on the line. My shit be on the line too when I'm trying to go all out, y'all. John Parham. Johnny, he doesn't mess with the UFC. Yeah, this boxing of my peoples. We doing boxing over here. So respect and love to UFC and they fans, but we don't do that over here. Vic C. Toupee. Yo, you ain't... Listen, you know who took some nasty shots to the toupee? Devin Haney. And you know why I call it the toupee? Because if you watch Lomachenko and Devin Haney, Lomachenko will hit Devin with some hard shots to the head, and you will see the fro go like that. Boom! Boom! So like, god damn, got the fro looking like a toupee out there. Side, oh, I see we rooted for GH. Johnny Martin, I understand, was just asking. Much love from Georgia. Salute, family. Vic, is that scary style? My peoples. Like I told y'all, man, I'm gonna be going in on this commentary today. But in the beginning, in the earlier fights, I'm gonna do my best to control my emotions. I said I'm gonna do my best, but as soon as they start landing them bombs, you know how it go, man. Sometimes you can't help it. Boxing is such a great sport, my people. We lucky to be fans of boxing at this point in history where there's so many great young fighters that's putting in that serious work. John Parham, trust you will definitely hear Greg tonight. Greg Hackett is going to be in the building. We're going to hear him before we see him. Vic, I tried. Johnny Martin, who you got in the Ryan versus Barrios fight? I haven't made that prediction, but I will be making it soon. Look, I'm going to be honest. That's a tough prediction to make because we know what Mario Barrios brings to the table. He's a world champion, legitimate champion. But Ryan Garcia, I believe that he is a dark horse. I believe that he's someone that, and you guys know, he has that power that can change everything. You know, if he lands that left hook on Mario Barrios, it could be all downhill from that point on for Barrios. If he hurt him. So I don't want to dismiss Ryan Garcia like, yeah, Barrios is going to get him. It's hard for me to just do it like that. I can't. You guys know I don't like to predict. I don't predict to be wrong. I'm not trying to make a prediction so I can miss. So I need a little bit more time before I give you that one. Vic C. Barrios kept Pacquiao off. I felt like Mario Barrios respected Manny Pacquiao too much. Felt like he respected him too much. John Parham, Ryan in 9. He can't afford an L. That's the one thing, man. Ryan Garcia got a chip on his shoulder. And I want to say this. And I've always said it, and I still believe it. Ryan Garcia is someone who I see becoming a world champion. Like I said, I'm not able to predict this fight just yet. I'm not telling you that he's going to be a champion now. But I believe before it's all said and done, we are going to see Ryan Garcia become a world champion. I don't know how much he's going to accomplish. I'm not sure if he's going to defend it a bunch of times and unify titles. But him winning a title, that's something I absolutely see happening. Side. Barrios is a company man. He takes the brown paper bag money. That's the reason the WBC gave him a title fight off of a loss. Plus he and that Austrian pack. He owned that Austrian pack. Whoa. I don't know about that, to be honest. You know, he hasn't, to my understanding, Mario Barrios hasn't been associated with steroids. I think you're talking about Ryan Garcia because Ryan Garcia lost and now he'll be fighting for a title. So I think that's what you're referring to. John Parham. Pac landed too many on Barrios. He can't take hits like that from Ryan. Oh, hell no. You take those type of punches from Ryan, you getting knocked out. You definitely getting knocked out. He can't afford to take that type of punishment. Vic C, he did. I don't. don't tuck his chin. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know anything related to Mario Barrios and Osterman. Because we know that Ryan Garcia had his whole situation with Devin Haney. Side, I'm talking about Ryan. Hand him a tennis ball. John Parham. It is hard to pick between them two. But I have Ryan by stoppage between the 8th and the 10th round, in my opinion. It's going to be a good fight, man. It's going to be an explosive fight. I feel like Mario Barrios got no respect for Ryan Garcia. And the way he talks about him, it's like, man, this guy's a clown and all of that. So because of that, I think we're going to get a slugfest, my peoples. I think Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios, a fight is going to break out in the first round. Because Barrios is going to try to apply that pressure. And you know Garcia loves to counterpunch. Loves that check hook. Loves it. Coming in, pop. And it's going to turn into that type of fight where Barrios is going to try to apply pressure. Ryan Garcia is going to catch him with a few stiff ones. And if it gets to the point where Mario Barrios has to use the footwork and Garcia is the one chasing, Barrios is going to be in trouble. He's going to be in trouble. 310, Man Ruth. Salute, family. Bam. John Parham. Ryan know if he loses, there will be no rematch and his stock drops tremendously. He knows. He knows. Ryan Garcia has a chip on his shoulder. He needs this W. But the same thing with Mario Barrios. He knows, I get my ass beat by this guy, the stock is going to take a nasty tumble. Side, if it goes the distance, just know they giving it to Ryan. I mean, obviously, Ryan is the way more popular fighter. If it goes the distance and it's a close fight, may go to Ryan. And the swing rounds, too. If it's close and it's a very close fight, Ryan might get those rounds. Johnny Martin, I can't wait for that fight. You will be calling that fight? Hell yeah, my brother. And just know, Johnny Martin, all of the big fights, you don't even have to ask, my G. I'm calling them. If it's a big fight, if it's a big card, I'm calling the action. John Parham. Boxing One's Ryan Haney Part 2. We need that fight, man. We need that fight. We need to find out how it plays out with no controversy. How it plays out in the welterweight division. Both of them are going to be bigger. Both of them are going to be stronger. And by the way, Devin Haney in the welterweight division, he finally got to where he needs to be. I don't knock him for moving up. Devin Haney is a different animal. Devin Haney is a different animal in the welterweight division. Johnny Martin, gotcha. This is the second time in your live. Appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate that. Devin Haney is a different animal at 147. Brian Norman Jr. found out. And you guys remember, I told you Devin was going to whoop that ass. I told you Norman Jr. wasn't ready for that smoke. Now Brian Norman Jr. fired his pops. And something I want to point out. That was a bad loss. While that was every loss, you never want to lose, right? But it's not the same. To give you an example, look at the way Sam Noakes lost to Abdullah Mason. Sam Noakes stocks skyrocketed. Look at Reina Tellez, the way she lost to Amanda Serranos. Reina Tellez stocks skyrocketed because they beat the shit out of their opponent. Even though they lost, they put hands. Sam Noakes put hands on Abdullah Mason. It's just that Abdullah's special. But Abdullah had to do more than he's ever done to get that win. He had to raise that bar higher than he ever had to win that fight. But Sam Noakes stocks skyrocketed because of that. Reina Tellez, when she fought Amanda Serranos, on 2 weeks' notice, put all type of hands. Had Amanda Serrano's face looking like a Ninja Turtle, swole up. So her stocks went up. But the way that Brian Norman Jr. lost to Devin Haney, he got his ass whooped. He wasn't competitive. He never had a moment where we said, oh shit, he might win. He never had a moment in that fight. So he wasn't well prepared for Devin Haney. I guess in a way he kind of blamed it on his pops, because he fired him. If I'm not mistaken, he's going with Derrick James next. John Parham knows he's a dog. He a dog. But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes a fighter loses a fight and their stock still goes up because of how they perform. They gain the fighters' respect, the fans' respect, and they give us a heck of a fight, so we got to respect it. Big C, Debo Dev, bro, the welterweight version of Devin Haney, Debo Dev, it's something different.